We have Richard from RC Outdoors, man. It's our second podcast.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, the last time was, where were we at?
We were in Chicago.
We were in Chicago, Aqualand.
Good
You were
time.
just learning how to do water features.
I know, right? I was just a baby then.
You were just a baby.
Yeah, now I'm all grown up.
Now it's funny because we did talk about that. You were still trying to find your identity as a contractor, as a businessman. So where does it sit right now with RC Outdoors? Have you found yourself? Have you found your niche or where you want to be, the size of your business, the scale?
Yeah, I think we have, man. We've every year is a different year. We're trying to figure out nuances and how we want to change, how we want to evolve, and I think we've kind of hit our sweet spot this year of, the size of the projects we want to be doing, kind of getting out of just doing patios and really focusing on, the whole outdoor living. We want to do a patio plus this element plus that element,
Yep.
and kind of get out of our smaller jobs and focus on more of our high-end custom outdoor living jobs. So that's kind of where we're trending. We've been debating pools. We got a pool going in next month.
So your total install.
Oh, yeah.
Install the pools, buying a pool, install it, selling the whole pool kit, everything.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah, it's big time.
Yeah. Is there a lot of risk to that?
Yeah. I mean, it's kept me up plenty of nights just thinking about pools and what could go wrong. It's new. It's
Yeah.
We wanted a challenge this year, so we wanted to try something different. And we know there's a lot of bad contractors doing some pool jobs in our area. We really want to come in and be able to pop the pool in, pop the patio in, do everything start to finish.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of delays on the pool. We've been out almost 9 months trying to get that in the ground. So
Wow.
now we're debating if we want to continue with the pools or not, just because it's wrecking our schedule and it's inconsistent. We don't have a lot of control on that end. So
Yeah.
we're going to put this first one in, see how it goes, and make a decision from there.
Wow. So we did the podcast, what was that, 2-3 years ago? I forgot how long ago.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago,
I think
man.
you just had a trailer in a ditch witch. Now you're
That was
talking
it.
pools. And
Yeah. I got employees I got to pay now. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's my main guy's been with me almost 4 years. That's been huge,
Yeah.
bringing him back, and we're getting more equipment. We're just getting better at what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're figuring this stuff out. And
Now that transition from where you started to now, you're happy with that. You're good with that slow transition, and I mean, it's not even really slow, dude. You got big pretty quick.
yeah, it's crazy. I feel like it was just yesterday we started this thing
Yeah.
up, and I think we've I've been debating back and forth about whether to grow 1 crew to 2 crew to 3 crew. Do we stay small and focus on more of the jobs we want to do?
Yeah.
And I think based on how the past 2 months have gone, we've been debating growing. I think we're good at just being that one solid crew,
Yeah.
picking the 12, 13, 14 jobs we want to do per year,
Yep.
sticking with that, picking our customers we want to work for, doing the jobs we want to do, and not having the stresses of having extra employees, extra equipment,
Yeah.
extra things we have to worry about. So I think we're pretty good now. I'm pretty happy.
I think that's a great move. I know a lot of people like to get big, and they, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as you can manage it. But I know for myself, I'm friends with a lot of these guys, a lot of these contractors growing up in the industry. For me, it seems like the most successful guys are owner-operators. They're on the job. They're overseeing the craftsmanship. They might not be laying all the pavers and doing this and that, but they're overseeing everything. You know what I mean? And there's a lot to be said with that. It's got your name all over it.
Right. And I'm happier. I've got 2 young kids. I've got a wife who works a pretty crazy job. And so I don't want to have to worry about having to deal with 2 and 3 and 4 crews where we can, I've got the guys I can leave behind if I need to leave at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm just happier, and I feel like I don't have the stresses with adding more stuff.
But we talked about that too. 2 or 3 more crews adds what? 2 or 3 more pieces of equipment. How many more employees? And you know how hard it is to get employees right now.
Right.
To make that jump would be
Right.
That's gonna be a tough
And
one.
our work is so it's so custom, and
Yeah.
I feel like I just have to be on site, making the calls here and there. So it would I just don't think it'd work out having more crews, and I don't know. We're happy. I'm happy where we're at. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The nice thing is too, I remember we talked about, you did that one job with the Squadra, how many cuts you had.
Oh yeah. The last time we laid Squadra 2 years ago.
That was the last time. I think you promised me that would be the last time.
Dude, Aaron, my guy, always brings that up. We've been getting better about that because you think about a Squadra's 3.5 by 3.5 inches, where you're laying 3.5 by 3.5 an hour. We want to be more efficient. We want to do a good project and deliver a good product. We also want to be efficient on the jobs, and so been doing a couple squadron drops here and there, but
Yeah.
I think that over time, our designs are getting better for us installers. We're installing it better and faster. Doing a lot of big slabs now.
Yeah.
With the vacuums, the guys love that. It's easier, it's fun. So that's kind of that direction we're heading.
And it doesn't seem like that you're just choosing one product. I notice on a lot of your jobs, you're kind of mixing it up. I mean, that last one was at Granger. You're out in Granger, Indiana or whatever. Dude, that was, I just love that project. You know what I mean?
The one we're on right now?
Yeah. That's the one you introduced some boulders on the fire pit side. What project was that?
That was actually my house.
That was your house? Oh, buddy, boy.
I haven't really told anybody that. But yeah, that was it was a job I really wanted to like push the limits on the design and really introduce some natural stone, natural steps, interesting pavers, interesting colors, and so I really went all out on that one because it was my house, and we have a lot of lighting, we've got audio, we've got water, we've got putting greens, so I really want to make that one stand out and make it more of a a showpiece for customers to come and check out and look at.
Yeah, and I notice how much you've done. So now you're jumping into natural stone, the turf.
Oh yeah,
the turf is amazing. You're doing a great job with the turf. I remember that one job with the lines, dude, that was amazing.
Yeah.
How did you get yourself? I know, just meeting you at Aquascape and you wanting to learn more. You guys you wanting to do more, and now you are. Where's your capabilities? You know what I mean? Where is it gonna? Is this what we're seeing? Structures. Where else do you want to take these jobs?
I think we like the challenge. I mean, we don't ever want to get to a point where we're doing the same thing over and over again. So we love taking on new risk and design challenges and figuring out how to build interesting things. So, I saw that nobody had done the striped turf. I'm like, oh, let's do that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we've done I don't know, I just like pushing the limits and making it fun out there.
But it doesn't come without some challenges. Didn't you have some challenges on that turf project?
Yeah, I mean, we had to take a full width of roll. It was 15 feet, and we had to cut it 4 times to make it 3.5 feet.
Yeah.
And then we had to glue each piece, seam tape each piece, and lay that out. And that one was kind of on the fly. Like we were actually going to do 7.5 foot pieces, and I went and talked to the customer. I'm like, hey, what if we cut it in half again? What if we striped it? What if we put it this way? I mean, it took a little extra time. Probably cost us more money in the process, but I mean. See what it delivered. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
now, are you building structures yourself?
No, I mean we do some pergolas.
Yeah.
Here and there, but any sort of shade structures.
The pavilions.
Yeah, we don't touch those.
Okay, so you're subbing that work out, or is that something?
I try to not deal with as many subs.
Yeah.
Just because it's not easy to work with.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell a customer, hey, we don't do that type of work. I don't know a good subcontractor on that end. Usually they'll know a guy that could give them a quote on that side, but we don't really normally deal with those type of structures.
Yeah. Now, social media, I know it plays a big part. You're on location. You do all the designs, right? You're the only designer.
Yeah.
Plus your social media.
Yeah.
Being a dad.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Growing. We talked about this on the first podcast.
Yeah.
How is it working out? How do you manage all that still?
It's tough. This year was pretty smooth because a lot of our designs, a lot of the estimates we were popping out were earlier in the year, like January, February, March. We're not really doing much in January, February, March. We started working March, usually second week of March.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of customers reach out in the winter time, early on in the spring. So, by March when we were started, we were already booked out till September.
Yeah.
So that's as a designer and the guy that wears all the hats and does all the things, that's refreshing to know, hey, I only have to sell maybe 3 more months of work this year, and we're solid.
Yeah.
So we've sold 3 extra jobs in the summer, and it's been great. I don't go home. I don't have to design at home. I mean, I send invoices and I do extra estimates or
the typical business day to day.
Yeah, but going back to my kids and my family, I can go home and really just kind of unwind and not be stuck up all night doing all the things that come with, the business side. And also, we're only doing 10, 12 jobs a year. That's only 10 to 12 job customers. That's 10 to 12 or maybe 20 or something invoices.
Yeah.
You're just cutting down all the things to do. So this was a pretty smooth year. I'm trying to set customers up now.
Yeah.
Hey, let's start making some decisions December, January, February. And that way when the summer starts, we can just install smooth sailing and just be a little happier and more efficient on that side.
Now, how do you figure social media? How does that help your business? Have you seen with your followers and the growth as the social media be in your portfolio? Is it easier to land jobs because of social media?
Oh yeah. I mean, the job we're on now, it's probably one of the craziest jobs we've done, and this guy reached out to me. He was like, hey, man, I've been following you guys for 3 years. I've been saving money for 3 years. I've seen all your work. We want to do something now. Let's go.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like money wasn't really an option. He knew he liked me. He trusted me.
Yeah.
He's seen my face on whatever, Instagram, Facebook for 3 years. And it's like, for that point, he's not going to anybody else for an estimate. He's not going to anybody else for a design. It's me. He wants to work with me.
Yeah.
So, like, seeing all that come full circle in 4 years, like, it feels good.
Yeah. It's like when you sit down with somebody, back in the day, you had a portfolio, you just met each other, you know, you're trying to sell yourselves.
Yep.
I think, you know, following you on social media, even though we met before, I could find out who Richard from RC Outdoors is just by following your social media.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the great part of social media.
Right.
And I think you learn what type of person you are as a customer. You know what I mean? And that, like you said, trust. That's huge.
Yeah, and we're really intentional about what we put on there, what we put forward. We really want to, you know, portray like a positive, energetic. Yeah. You know, and we're not being fake about it. I mean, we truly love and we're energetic, and we have some things that are bad that happen, but overall, we love what we do. We love creating cool spaces. Yep. And we really want to portray that to customers. And, you know, I mean, if you're going to hire a carpenter or a roofer, you'd want to hire somebody who's passionate about what they're doing, right? Or somebody who loves what they're doing or who's having fun. So why would somebody not want to hire somebody like that to build their space? Yeah. So I think it's really helped out. And we were talking about Sean from Premier. You know, he's the guy that I've been chatting with for years. And he's like, it was like 3 years ago. He's like, man, like, turn the phone around, put it on yourself, do a selfie story, and just forget about how you look and just go, you know. And so it was weird. It was awkward. And now we do it all the time. So that's been huge for us, for sure.
It's funny you say that, because one of the things I love about Sean was, and we try to keep it positive. You have an image to uphold, you know what I mean? Yeah. We try to keep it positive. But with social media, you're opening yourself up to some negativity. Oh, yeah. And I think with the concrete mixer, but you know what Sean did, and I loved it? Yeah. He took a lot of that negative energy, and he posted a lot of those negative guys. Dude, I love how you approached that. It was kind of what Sean did with his stuff. You took that negative and you turned it into a positive. You know what? What are you going to do? There's always going to be haters out there. You know what I mean? But I think you did a great job handling that.
Yeah, and you can't let the haters get to you. They're just, you know, there's trolls, and you got to either put a negative spin or a positive spin. And we want to put a positive spin on, even though some of them are just like, come on, dude, like, really? Like,
I know.
You think you can make 10 bags in a minute faster than this machine? So they're a bunch of idiots, but I don't know. It's fun. Make some fun out of it.
No, that was fun. And the power of social media, this is why I kind of wanted to do a little episode with, where's our man? Hey, we got to get him to stop talking, though, because he'll talk forever.
Matt. We bringing in the bodyguard?
We got to bring in the bodyguard,
there we
man.
Go.
Because this is what I'm talking about, social media. I met you before I met Matt. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You're in Indiana, I'm in Rochester. Yeah. Matt's in Buffalo, an hour away from me. Yeah. I'm a distributor. He's buying from somebody else. Yeah. You hit me on Instagram and say, hey, I got a buddy, you know, we're in I forgot what type of group you guys were in and stuff. And you said, you know, he's really looking for somebody out there to, you know, deal with natural stone and stuff. And you being in Indiana, me being in Rochester, and that's how we connected through him. And that's social media.
Isn't that crazy?
You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's how, you know, and our relationship has grown a lot because of you. And I want to introduce him. We have Matt from Picture Lake Landscape, and you guys are here together. You guys have built a relationship, right?
Yeah, we're friends, you know.
And that's the nice thing. I see, you know, how do you guys influence each other as contractors? You know what I mean? You're not competition, obviously, being in two different states, but how do you influence each other?
Well, there's no influence on my part. It's just coming all from him to me. No, but going back to what you said, and we talked about this when you came out to the job, is I had that one job I messed up, and I had to get these steps from you, and I didn't know where to go. So I mentioned to him, I go, where do you think get stuff? He goes, why don't you call Joey? I'm like, I think you texted him. Yeah. And you texted me, and I'm like, hey, let's see if we can get these. They show up, we work, and that was it.
And it's all off of Instagram. It's all off of social media.
Nuts, man.
I didn't even know you existed.
Right. And we're an hour away.
Which is ridiculous. And he's like, oh, because he did that podcast. Yeah. Right? And to check them out. And then I, of course, went out there and couldn't believe what I saw.
Right.
I mean, because there's nothing in that area for this. So,
Well, we appreciate the business, buddy.
Every time.
And the best thing is we've created a good relationship, because of that.
Yeah.
Because of that. So
it's crazy.
It's weird how it works out, man.
yeah, it does.
Like Instagram and social media, and he's staying in our house, and like I've met him once before. Last year we did a little meetup with some guys, and it's weird, man. It's like we talk with other people, like my wife or my family, about friends on Instagram, and people are just like, that's weird, like that. They don't get it, but we have, we're doing the same things. We're like-minded individuals going through the same issues and struggles, and we strike some bonds through that.
Yeah, and you create these relationships. I mean, even though you're not in person, you create these relationships through social media, and you can become a friend even through social media, you know what I mean? And then just finally meeting each other or seeing each other 2 times for your whole lifetime.
And it's funny, too. You think of the power of it. With that time we said we met up, we were in this group, and people are like, yeah, I know you. Hey, man. I'm like, and I felt bad. I'm like, I don't know who you are, because they see my face.
Yeah.
If you're talking on something, they see who you are, and they're like, hey, I know you. And to me, that was just crazy how that works, that they can see you like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you both do a good job, because at first you were a little hesitant to put your face on, and you said Sean from Premier was like, dude, just put your face on the, and it's a little hesitant. You also do a good job, but I'm sure it took something to be like, you know what I mean? Finally get on there, but you can talk. Dude.
I tell you,
can talk.
For me, no. Listen,
there's no shyness there.
No. Listen,
we were at breakfast and he talked the entire hour. We said nothing,
and I felt bad. They're all looking at me like, does this guy ever stop? No, but I'm telling you what, though, that was a situation that came up in a group here, and they talked about, hey, you got to get your face on social media, or just get your face. I have no problem turning that phone and talking. Okay? I have no problem doing that. Where I get benefits from the relationships with these contractors is I'm more asking the how-to questions.
Yeah.
I can get on the phone and talk we talk all the time.
Yeah.
And that relationship is huge.
Yeah.
But I can turn that phone on me, no problem.
And I like it because you're almost at the stage, it's the beginning stage. Yep. You're getting bigger and bigger, you know what I mean? And you're wondering what you should do and the scale you should go. Yep. You were at where you were at when we first met, you know what I mean? And that's what I see between you two and how you two influence each other. Sure. A little bit hesitant to go big, you know what I mean? And you said that before too. I don't want to get too big, you know what I mean? I want to be comfortable. Yep. I want to balance that family work life, you know what I mean? And you're doing a great job for, you're a good role model for it, you know what I mean? And I can see a lot of people following you and saying, he's doing it right.
Yeah,
he's doing it right.
There's a lot of kids come in the industry thinking you got to go big. There's a lot of guys here that are promoting, 10X, go big, and it's which is fine if that's the route you want to go. But he and I, we have kids, we have families, we can't just go home and work for another 10 hours, right? We have to have some sort of balance there, and I think that I've kind of found that balance where we're pretty good at, and that's where we come in, and we're both. He's got 1 or 2 guys. I've got 2 guys, sometimes 3 guys, and we've got a lot in common. So we're both kind of have the same goals, and it's good. We can bounce ideas off each other, and it's cool.
Now, manufacturing, I know you guys probably prefer one manufacturer or the other. Where you are, what do you see most? I know at one point you were using all Techo-Block and didn't see much Unilock at some point, right? Or was it just the opposite?
I would say we're in Unilock country.
You are in Unilock country. And you were dabbling into more Techo-Block.
Yeah, I mean, I like Techo's products better. I think they're more different. Yeah. Now, it's also another way for us to stand out because nobody's installing those products in our area. Yeah. So nobody can, let's say I sell a design. They can't take that design to another contractor. They're like, I don't even know what that is. Right. Or it's so crazy, I'm not going to install that, right? So we're designing things that nobody in our area could build, and we've struck up some good relationships with Techo-Block, and happy with the product so far, and it's interesting. And they do a
good job promoting you too.
Yeah, so it goes hand in hand. So I'm happy this year where we're at with it.
I really like that last project you're doing with the Everest.
Oh yeah.
Can you talk about that project a little bit?
Yeah. So that's the guy that came to me. He was like, hey, been following you guys for 3 years. Yeah. Like, you're my guy. Yeah. Like, we want to do it. Just tell me how much, and tell me where to sign. Right. And that's like, from day one, that's kind of where I wanted to be at. So to see like those things coming that's like doing the selfies, and not knowing what's going to come of it. That's what's evolved from that.
Yeah.
And so, he wanted something crazy. He showed me 2 projects that we had done. It was my old house and my new house. And he was like, this is what I want. And I was just like, yes, like these are the projects we want to be getting, right?
Yes.
So he wanted contrast, he wanted curves, he wanted different colors, he wanted all the cool stuff, all the stuff that gets me pumped up, fired up for what I do. And so, yeah, it's going to turn out amazing. So,
dude, he had a big budget.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now, I know for both of you, and you guys can plug in wherever you want, the uncomfortableness about talking about budgets, when does that become comfortable in your career? You know what I mean? Does that start off a little bit hesitant at first when your first few jobs, and now is it really comfortable saying, hey,
I'm still uncomfortable.
You still are.
I'm in that phase where I'm being as new as I am, I'm still not as comfortable with, okay, is someone really going to want this? So,
hesitation of saying, wow, in my head, this could be a $70,000 project.
But now that I think we have more work in the ground, it's much easier when someone says, hey, I'm looking for this, this, and this. Well, listen, that could potentially run you this.
Right.
And you either get the, or you get the, okay, yeah, and what else can we do? And then you're like, okay, now we're in a good frame of mind.
So you break the ice a little bit.
Yeah, and I try to, this works and it doesn't.
Yep.
I've used like a contact form to kind of break the ice. And this is what these things could run. But I don't know if that's causing people to maybe leave too soon.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we'll figure it out. But that's where, like, I think, like, I watch guys like him and other guys, they're just more confident in that area, I think. And I think that just comes with the time of doing projects.
Yeah, now let's get to you. How do you approach that?
Yeah, it's never comfortable. A lot of times I don't know how much things are going to cost.
Right.
Like, even if you tell me you want X, Y, and Z, even if I see the lay of the land, I see the backyard, like, it still doesn't. I might have like a kind of a roundabout number, but like I've messed up way too many times in the past where I've been like, hey, it's going to be probably this, you know. And so I've tried to get that number from them. I have a contact form on our our website. But a lot of times they always click the 20 grand to 30 grand, even though it's going to cost 100 grand. And they're always like, well, we don't know what it's going to cost. And so it's weird. I haven't been super successful with the question.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not getting great answers. I'm not getting like a realistic budget from them.
Yeah.
So, I'm there. Somebody wants a fireplace in the kitchen and they have 800 square feet of pavers. They want lighting, landscaping, city wall, fire pit, and they want to spend 40 grand. It's like, it's not going to happen. So a lot of times we'll kind of lay out some concept plans. I'll kind of throw out some rough numbers.
Yep.
I always want to shoot high.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a weird game, the budget game. So
I think one thing I heard at one point, this is interesting, is how many times do people buy outdoor living in their life?
Yeah. Probably
once,
just once.
Twice, maybe at best. So
depends how many times you move, I guess.
So maybe. I think some people don't know the actual cost of it. Like, you want to buy a new car. You know what that's going to cost you.
Yeah.
You want to go buy, I don't know, whatever, something you buy you know what it costs.
Yeah.
People don't know all the time, hey, I want that patio, I want that gas fire feature, I want a water feature, all this stuff. And they don't know what that really costs. And when you come back with a pretty high number, it's that sticker shock because they had no idea.
Yeah.
They're thinking, oh, you're just throwing in some pavers in the ground, and what's that, like, maybe $5 grand?
Yeah.
You're like, that's not even covering a tenth of the material.
We play a big part of that as a dealer. We really do. Mm-hmm. We get a lot of people walk in. We give leads out to contractors. We have a very small list of good guys that we give work to. It's nothing related to our business, but it's up for us. It's up to us to educate the customer first. Yeah. So we will, depending on what projects they want to do an outside, kitchen, pool area or whatever. We can give them a roundabout number. Richard, you guys met Chris. He was a contractor at one point, so now he's sales. So he has a great idea on what things cost. So if we're giving a lead to one of our contractors, and we don't want to waste anybody's time, you know what I mean? You got 1,000 square foot, you got a kitchen. We can give you a rough estimate that, hey, this project, and we'll highball it a little bit too. Mm-hmm. This project's going to cost you at least $50,000. If you want to move forward with it, I'll find you a couple guys. they're gonna be around that same price. You might like one personality over the next personality. They all do great work, but you're in for at least 50 grand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's up to us to educate, our customers as well.
That's so helpful from a supplier standpoint.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, oh, well, these pavers are X amount of square foot. You're saying, hey, this is what this project could cost. So you're almost at first line of defense. It's saying, hey, the next step, that's almost pre-screening in itself. So that's always great.
We're always trying to pre-screen something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these guys are good too. I mean,
yeah.
you know what I mean? We got a lot of good guys locally.
Yeah.
And you're really, not too many guys are on social media.
No.
I mean, I'm dealing with a lot of very talented contractors. We can't promote enough this social media thing. I don't know, they might be too shy to get on camera, or, they just don't have the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but in our area, we got great guys doing great work. They just won't jump in, they just won't jump on social media. What would be the best thing, if I had to give some of my guys advice to jump on the social media, what would be a good advice to some new contractors that are kind of hemming and hawing about jumping on the social media?
I mean, we're to the point now we can throw numbers at a job, and we're going to get those numbers because, like they get to watch you. We show our processes. We show us how we're excavating. We show ourselves, installing rock. We show why we're installing this rock, and what kind of papers we're putting in, and we're showing the whole process. And it's like I said, going back to if you were a consumer, you're going to hire a painter, right?
Yeah.
And you see how the painter's trailer is set up, and you see he's mixing it right. He's got this equipment because of this, and he has this certain sprayer because of that. You're going to want to hire that painter more than somebody else you just found on Google, right? So it's like the trust factor is there. You can show your whole portfolio on there. You have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. I can post a stupid mud mixer video, right? And I can just do whatever I want to do. It's so cool, and it's free, right?
It's free,
and it's where a lot of the younger generation is, right? It's where our clients are right now, right? Our clients are 30 and 40 and 50-year-olds, right? And they're all on Instagram, they're all on Facebook. And it's free. You can put everything you want to on there, and it's been a huge game changer for us. We wouldn't be here without it.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys are in our area, they're older contractors. They're set in their ways. They've established what they're doing, and they're fine and they're happy. But if you're starting out, for sure, get on it.
I think what you're saying, for younger or newer, if you get your face out there, and you head to someone's house for an estimate, and say they've been following you for a while, they know you. Do you know what I'm saying? If you put off a good persona, they're going to feel comfortable with you showing up and talk, because they feel just like when you meet people, and I've known people for years just because Instagram or whatever. You meet the person, you know them. So I think part of it is just get on there and do it. And I think people get worried about what content to post.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Put your face out there, like you said. You talk about processes. Talk about the end part of it, whatever it needs to be. But I think if you get your face out there, that's to me the most important part. Like you've said to me, and I love the chat and love the talk. Think about a guy like Sean too. Super personable guy. Wouldn't you want to call that person because you know who they are? So I don't know. If you want to do it, you just got to get on there and do it. You just got to turn the phone on, talk to it. We were talking about this too with posts and stuff. That mud mixer got 1 million something views.
1 million.
Think about it. And you could post an amazing project and it gets whatever views. It doesn't matter. Post whatever you can. Just whatever it is, do it and show your process. Show who you are. Because
And I think the key to that is, and I think you said that, is we want to portray who we are. We want it to be real. I do see some guys failing at it, and they use social media in a negative manner. And it, I want to say a couple contractors that I do know do it, and it might be them, but it's definitely not going to sell any work.
Right.
No,
you know what I mean?
You
so
never
you
know
have
who's
to
watching.
be careful.
And I think you don't always. I think sometimes I see people will bash other people right away. I'm like, listen, I know it's to say, hey, this is the incorrect way to do something. That's fine, but I think you're better off showing how you are good. Don't
negative sell.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Sell yourself. Sell why, and it doesn't be, oh, I'm better than this person. Just this is why you want to come here. That's all. And but I do see that where some people get a little too carried away with all the. this, I saw this. I'm like, well, just sell what's good about you.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Just
And
be
here's
yourself.
the thing: they can do that if they want. If that's how they want to do them.
Yep. Yeah.
I may not agree with it, but I really want to focus our channel on the clients and potential clients, and very intentional about what we put on there.
Yep.
We want to post a lot of hate or negativity, and one thing to add to add in your face, and you probably notice it like meeting with customers, and you show up and it's not like that awkward. We don't know each other. Like you don't know them, but they're smiling.
They already feel like they know you.
Yeah, they're asking like, "Oh, how'd your daughter's birthday go last month?" And you're like, "Oh wait, how did you know?" Oh, I put it on Instagram. So it's like that's really cool. They're comfortable in the situation. It's crazy how it's all gone the way it is, and it's the way to go.
I'd buy from you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd buy.
For me, it's like we have a persona, right? The Outdoor Project Podcast.
Yeah.
Who do we want to be on this show? We have to pick and choose.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like last night we had Edward from Mainstream. He's not your typical guy, but he spreads a lot of love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
We didn't really even talk too much about his hardscaping, but for me, he sends such a great positive attitude every day. He's a Latino, you know what I mean? Which is different, you know what I mean? Because I don't see a lot of that.
What's his slogan? Confident.
Quality company.
Quality, confident
choice.
company. Like
Yeah.
I even know that.
Yeah, and it's
sticks, man.
Yeah, and he's such a good guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
without doubt.
he's got it going on, and he's doing a good job, and he's into politics, but that's how he wants to be viewed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not scared of what he is, and the same thing with you.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you guys on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys make me look good.
And it's all about making a good impression. Like
Yes.
a guy up in Oregon's making that big of an impression on me to know what that slogan is, and he's
Yes.
promoting love and peace, and I'm
We
sure
need
his
more of
business,
that.
Yeah, I'm sure his business is reaping the benefits of that.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
And again, why wouldn't you want to buy from him?
Right.
I mean,
And that's what he said. Social media has been it's like glorious to him. You know what I mean? Because one job sells. He doesn't come out of his pocket. You know what I mean? There's no marketing material. It's just him, social media, him, showing his work. The confident choice, you know what I mean? But he does such a good job at it, and you guys are too, so.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Future, RC Outdoors, what can we look forward, fast forward a year, 2 years, where are we going to see
I think
RC
what we're
Outdoors?
doing right now.
Just keep going?
Yeah, I think we'll just keep grinding what we're doing, keep doing the same style projects. Probably want to raise our minimum just to get rid of some of those leads coming in, just get rid of the tire kickers.
Yeah.
I think if we can focus on jobs that will take us about 4 to 6 weeks, where we can do 12 jobs a year, just get more efficient, charge a little bit more, want to give back to my employees a little bit more. We're going to want to doing a big fishing trip this year.
Sweet.
We're giving them good bonuses and want to make them happy. Want to
Yeah.
make sure, I'm paying myself a little bit more, making sure I'm happy, my wife's happy, my kids are happy.
Yep.
It's been a great year. I mean, the pool thing may change. We don't know if we're going to do pools full time or not.
Yeah.
I kind of approached it where I don't have to sell a pool to stay in business, right? I
Right.
could sell 0 pools, or I could sell 3 pools. And as long as we're charging what we need to on it and having some good margins, then maybe we'll do a couple pools a year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it changes every day, right? I mean, we talk about how we want to grow our companies, and there he is, confident, cool choice,
Quality company and confident choice. We were just talking about you, buddy.
Hey. All right, buddy. He heard us, man.
Yeah,
This thing live.
we were just talking about you.
I hope it's all good things.
All good.
man.
All good, brother.
All good.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, so it changes. I mean, I change my mind weekly on where we want to go, but that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
That's the freedom we have to do what we want to do, right? That's why we went in business. And
Now, if you find, and this is great because I got a buddy, used to live in Rochester, moved down to Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's installing pools, hardscapes around every pool. If you find that this pool is cake, you think you'll start adding it to your business?
if we can get them and we can have a little bit control on it, then
So
then
more
sure.
of it is just the backup, the log on the
right.
Okay.
It's not having control on our schedule. We're
Yeah.
kind of getting backed up on some things, but I mean, that sounds like the economy is going to slow down as far as demand for certain things. I don't know. It's a weird year. It's a weird time. So
Yeah.
we'll take it day by day,
Yep.
but being able to put a pool in and doing everything else around it was pretty cool because nobody in my area is doing that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crazy contractors that try to install pools, so which creates opportunity to put in some good pools and do some good projects. So I don't know, we'll see.
It seems like the pool business is definitely there. We work with Colley's Pools, in a lot of pools, Precision Pools. Shout out to Dave from Precision Pools, Kevin from Colley's Pools. I mean, they're backlogged to, a lot of our guys aren't backlogged with hardscapes, but pools are backlogged through 2023.
Nuts.
You know what I mean? So it's a huge business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt from Picture Lake, what does that look like year to 2 years?
Buying a whole lot of more material from Sensenig's landscape.
There we go. A little plug. Plug there.
Right? No, hey, I'll give it to you. I say it to everyone. Thank God we connected.
Yeah.
I mean, the service
Yeah.
from your company is unbelievable.
I appreciate that.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where I find myself in 2 years, put in more complete spaces.
Yeah.
Not just one or two, then some smaller things. I'd like to get probably to where he is now.
Yeah.
Where you're getting those full spaces put in.
Yeah.
And I have that job that we talk about how we connected. That job. That guy, I might have to hire him for a sales guy because he's selling work for me. I think I have one or two from him already.
Wow.
Which is crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
do we got to pay him money? I also would like to find the person, the guy to come help me.
We talked about that.
Yeah, not just a worker. I want someone that has pride in it, wants to work hard, wants to be part of something cool, wants to help build cool spaces. That's what I need. That's where I think if I can find that, like where he's got, that's when things can start to keep climbing.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is finding that next guy to come help with these projects. Then buying more supplies from Sensenig Landscape Supply. Check them out, Rochester, New York, Geneva, New York.
Now, I know you put an ad out looking for guys, and I don't know if it's just the Northeast. I was just talking to Nick's Landscape out of Akron, Ohio. His main thing is he's got to stay small. He can't find anybody. He wants that go-to guy. He still can't find it. He said he's been searching for 2 to 3 years. I know you put out an ad last year for some help, you know what I mean? And how did that pan out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've had all my help gotten from Instagram.
Yeah.
So, like, all the work has come from Instagram, all my help, like, everything is out there, right? Because everybody's on there. Everybody knows somebody that might have somebody that knows somebody that needs work, right?
Yeah,
So, that's how my main guy came in about 4 years ago, posted on Instagram. Somebody saw it. Oh, yeah, I got a cousin that might be interested. And,
Right.
the guy I hired last year was the same way. Guy I hired this year was the same way. So, yeah.
And you did the same thing. It just didn't work out so well.
No,
I don't know if it's by the,
Do you know what's interesting? When we arrived here yesterday, I ran to a local contractor, and I said, hey, I know where you are. I used to live by where your shop is, whatever, and we were talking a little bit, and he said he gave up his hardscape business, the side of it, because he couldn't get people to work.
Yeah.
And that's sad. I mean, the guy did great work, and, it's got to turn around at some point.
Yeah.
And I think some of it, I don't know if it's a transition the industry itself needs to make.
Yeah.
That'd be like, hey, listen, these are real jobs. I want to make this worth your while. This isn't, hey, come here, get yelled at all day. No, I want you to be able to express yourself, work yourself, and maybe even share the benefits that you do as an owner too.
Yeah. Going on fishing trips.
That's great. I mean, those are things that people appreciate and that you got to do. And I think that needs to become more of the norm with this to attract people to be here. We can sit here and stomp our feet and cry all day about how someone doesn't want to work, but do they not want to work, or do they not want to work for me?
Right.
Did I do something?
It's making you feel bad.
Right? Like, what did I do? I don't think that's the case necessarily for me.
No, definitely
But
not.
I think it'll happen. It's you got to be patient, sort of.
Yeah.
But I think it'll happen. Like, what do they say? Hire slow, fire fast type of deal.
Yeah.
Find that
definitely.
right person.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about someone that applied for a job for him, and it was an interesting thing, but whatever. And I don't know.
We run into the same struggle. I mean, we got a great sales staff, great management. The problem is finding the back end. It's the labor end of it. Guys to work in the yard and wanting to, to be hands-on and wanting to lift stuff for orders and stuff. We had 3 good guys, and we knew they were all going to move on. You know what I mean? We started them off there. They did great for us. They moved on. trying to fill those 3 spots. We've grown so much that 3 needs to be 6 right now. That's how big we've grown. We can't find 6 guys. We try. We have a good group of guys right now, and I buy them lunch. I try to, we try to do as much. We try to do some team building stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's difficult, but when you get them, you gotta keep them.
You gotta hang on. You can't let go.
You have to keep them. And I think you're doing a good job with that. Obviously, if you can retain your employees and make them happy, the business is going to keep flourishing.
I mean, listen, I've been staying with them. Thank God. They allowed me to. Yeah, I think you brought me on just to be a bodyguard.
Oh yeah. We're in the project
now. But you make a good bodyguard.
But his 2 guys.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
friends and family.
I mean, honestly, I feel like, again, you see the guys, you feel like you know them, but it's like, that's a great find. I mean, he's got 2 great guys that are helping him out that are like, and he takes care of them.
Yeah.
You can't let
and
that.
that's the key, because you can think everybody else is hiring out there. Like, they're just going to want to jump, and I'm willing to spend the extra, profit or whatever to treat these guys. And also, you think about our new generation, like, they're sensitive, right?
Yeah.
You have to and even though we grew up in an era where, when we worked, we were, we had the whips on our backs and they were yelling at us and all that stuff. And it's just different now. So you have to as much as frustrating as it is, you have to think about where these people are.
Yeah, you got to make that pivot.
And you can't be yelling at them, hollering at them. Like, you gotta think about where they're at.
Yeah.
And so that's been super conscious on my mind. And
I think part of it too is probably, as your budget allows, buying the equipment to make, because we can sit here all day, oh, no one wants to work. That's fine. But
you both have done a good job with that.
But look at all the stuff that's around here.
Yes.
And I've had this conversation with you, and I'm hesitant to say it, but I want it anyways. What's more important, the equipment that makes your business more efficient, or the Platinum F350 that you can't really afford?
Right.
Maybe your employees would appreciate something that makes their job a little bit easier, and you can hold off on what you want for now.
Yeah, for now.
To me, I'd rather have 2 guys do amazing work, and it puts what I want on hold for a minute.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, you come here and you see all the stuff that could make, if you find a hole, like, man, this isn't working right. And we were talking about this for me with the employee needs. My last job, we were putting up this Borealis little bit of wall, and my summer help's gone, so I'm doing it by myself, and I'm doing it by hand.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't do it with the machine by myself, so I'm with 2 Carabos, forget it.
you get it.
You get it. Yeah, exactly.
So that's where but if I did have someone, hey, listen, I got a Mini, I got clamps, I got suction equipment. When we do this, all you got to do is stand down there,
Perfect.
put them on. So that's instead of saying, hey, we got to, dig a hole with a pickaxe and a shovel that's 10 feet deep, 10 feet wide.
Yeah.
No one wants to do that.
No, I know, that's tough. That's tough. You got all this equipment. There's no need for that anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything in this show catch your eye? Except for the thing on fire yesterday.
No.
Get them while they're hot.
Get them while they're hot. Yeah, I had a mower blow up, right? Caught on fire. I'm not gonna name names.
No,
No
yeah.
names.
It
But
was
for your business, any piece of equipment out here benefit you guys?
not really.
Nothing that you don't have
I feel
already.
like I've seen all the things.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy where we're at equipment wise. I mean, I come to these shows for networking.
Yep.
Come to these shows to talk with guys like Matt and Joey and all these guys that we've been talking with on social media for years and years, and that's what fires me up. That's what pumps me up. I can talk to my wife. I can talk to my friends. Like, they don't really get it, right?
No.
But if I can talk to Matt about it, he's like, dude, yeah, man, like, I've been there. Like, it's just good to talk with guys like that, and so that's why I come. I'm not looking to see the latest and the greatest, and just take advantage of being around the people and having a good time.
I guess, for me, if I keep buying more boulders from you, I might need a bigger Mini to pick them up. I mean, having that smaller machine, you don't want to tip over and fall over.
Those Seneca boulders, man.
Oh, I love them, man. It's a great man. And hey, listen, I still got to come up. We got to go to both. I need the full tour.
Yeah.
I must bring a notepad and say, I need all this, need all this, need all this.
You haven't been to the Geneva location
I
yet.
haven't, and that's that's just like a candy shop for stone.
Yeah, so I built the Rochester store 8 years ago. 3 years ago, went over to Geneva and just redid the entire place. You got 60 acres, you know what I mean? Plus, we run Yukon Valley, which is our natural stone line, out of Geneva. But we redid the outdoor showrooms, the indoor showrooms, really updated everything. Rochester, we couldn't leave Geneva behind. You know what I mean? It grew so quick.
Yeah.
It was very pieced together. You know what I mean? So we cleared it out, redid it. It's, I mean, both locations right now. Sensenig's Landscape Supply, dude. Trying to do some big things.
I've never seen, again, maybe I'm just sheltered or something, but I've never seen a place like that. When I showed up there the first time to pick up something, I'm like, you know, most nurseries have a pallet of flagstone, a pallet of this, and I mean, we're not talking a pallet.
Yeah.
I mean, those Seneca boulders, you have a whole area that's like, I don't know, half the size, not half, but huge.
Well, hopefully we're setting a trend, you know what I mean? Hopefully, and we are starting to see it. A lot of distributors really putting some money into their displays because, listen, it only helps out the contractor.
Your displays are
you
top
send,
notch.
You know, Colley's Pools, you from Buffalo, sends them to our Rochester location, and they're picking stuff out like this. You know what I mean? It's easy. We try to minimize things. You know, there's a lot of options, but we try to minimize it. Our sales staff is great, you know, so we make it easier for you guys, you know, as a contractor.
Yeah.
And I hope more distributors follow, and we are starting to see that trend, which is great because it's going to only help the industry.
I would say, and I'm going to say it again, I'm going to give that shameless plug again. Besides the massive amount of inventory, like, I mean, I remember the job you did, that podcast for me. I called for that product.
Yep.
And it was like, oh, when do you want it? I don't know. I can't remember a day. And I'm at the job that next day, and I hear this big rig. I'm like, that's not UPS, right? And I go out there, and there's this huge flatbed with all material.
Yep.
And then we were shorted something because it wasn't available. Your guy found it for me, called me. Do you want this?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
You found this? Yeah. It just came up. Yeah. And then that showed up, I think, the next day.
Richard was short something weird. Chris called and was like, dude, we got it right in stock. We'll put it on a truck.
Here's the quote, man.
Hey, whatever.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fun.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
No, we appreciate it, man.
So,
Yeah.
Dude, I love this. It's been a pleasure.
It's great.
This is so easy. They call it a podcast. They call this work. But if this is
It's
work, dude, I'll take this every day.
Yeah, me too. Oh, my God, me too.
Dude, I just want to thank you guys for being on here. Thank you, Richard.
Thanks
Matt.
for having me.
Yeah,
man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you again.
See you next year.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Hey,
Let's do it.
every year.
Every year.
Hey, the pop-up podcast, we talked about that. We would love to come visit one of your
Yeah,
jobs.
man. Come on. Yeah, do it.
Maybe if we go to Aquascape, we'll come in and...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's do it.
We'll be a surprise.
There we go.
That'll be a good one.
Kinda like
Yeah,
pop-up
make it a
movies.
real surprise. Just popping. Hey, what's up, man?
That's the real pop-up. Thanks, guys. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
for sure.